Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Anthony Pavia. I've been with MAVCO for 10 years. In my current role as the Product Portfolio Manager, I manage the global portfolio of products that MAVCO offers, as well as provide information in the business. We are pleased to have the opportunity to discuss MAVCO's solutions for creating winning, better-for-you beverages that address global trends. Today's webinar will be led by Mark Hines, Global R&D Director for MAVCO, and Rich Davidson, Senior Vice President of Sales, R&D, and Marketing for MAVCO. But first, a few items about our webinar. The webinar is being recorded and will be available upon demand approximately 1 hour after the conclusion of the webinar. Everyone is muted except the presenters, but you will have the opportunity to ask questions via the Q&A feature of the Zoom webinar. Questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. And as always, we invite you to visit our website at www.mavco.com for more information and to reach us for samples or questions after we conclude today. The webinar will cover the hot topics in the beverage industry with considerable focus on the better for you trends that drive growth, innovation, product development, and the new product introductions. First, we will highlight the new MAVCO. We will discuss key beverage trends and highlight the new Magna-Brands portfolio. Then we will go into depth on solutions for sugar reduction or elimination, bitter blocking, protein masking with focus on masking all flavors from plant proteins, as well as our new solutions for CBD beverages, adding mouthfeel, and reducing usage of vanilla. Now to introduce the speakers. Mark Hines is the Global R&D Director for MAVCO. He joined the company in October of 2017. He has 30 years of food industry experience. He previously managed the global R&D activities for the nutrition business of Ashland and has experience in consumer packaged foods and in food ingredients. Mark has a PhD in food chemistry from Purdue University. Rich Davidson is the Senior Vice President for Sales, R&D, and Marketing for MAVCO. He joined the company in July of 2020 and most recently was General Manager of the North American Taste Group of the Frutarom division of IFF. Rich has 26 years of experience in the flavor industry and earned an MS in food science at Virginia Tech. And now Rich is going to take you through the market information for the beverage industry.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you to everyone for joining us today. The MAVCO name originated as an acronym for McAndrews and Forbes, the licorice company started in 1850. We are currently located in Camden, New Jersey, which is across the Delaware River from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We also have locations in France, Richmond, Virginia, China, and India. We are recognized as the world leader in licorice products with a strong vertical integration and deep, long-lasting relationships with our root suppliers. Due to our expertise and depth of understanding of licorice products, including the unique derivatives from the licorice root itself, combined with R&D investment, we are a company that is truly rooted in the science of excellent taste. MAVCO is a subsidiary of Whole Earth Brands, which is a newly created corporation traded on the NASDAQ exchange under the symbol FREE. Whole Earth Brands was created in June of 2020 through a SPAC transaction, or a special purpose acquisition company, whose chairman is Irwin Simon, the founder of Hain Celestial. Whole Earth Brands is dedicated to healthier alternatives and clean label products for the health conscious consumer with a combined annual revenue of approximately $500 million. Now let's begin with insights into global and regional beverage market trends and innovations. In looking at beverage market trends and insights, we'll be looking at the innovation in the better for you space. The trending beverage categories highlighted in our webinar today are CBD infused, non-alcoholic, plant protein, dairy-based, and sugar-reduced beverages, including RTDT. We will present the market trends and data, flavor formulation challenges, and our targeted solutions to overcome them. We will begin our presentation with the CBD infused beverage category, discussing the market trends, challenges, and more importantly, the opportunities for growth in this sector. As we examine the CBD market in the United States, we see strong growth. The market value of CBD infused beverages in the United States is predicted to grow substantially over the coming years, And by 2023, the market is expected to be valued at approximately $1.4 billion, over 16 times greater than its value in 2018. The global CBD beverage market is experiencing similar growth, with sales expected to exceed $14 billion by the end of 2026. A report from Facts and Factors projected that the global CBD infused beverage market, which was valued at around $3.4 billion in 2020, is expected to grow to over $14.6 billion by the end of 2026, with a consolidated annualized growth rate of approximately 27.5% between 2021 and 2026. The common accessibility of CBD-infused drinks such as coffee, fruit punch, cannabis cola tea, and other CBD-infused beverages across various outlets further augments the global industry. With this product, however, presents taste challenges. The primary challenges with CBD beverages are lingering bitterness and earthy, wet basement off notes. Now we'll discuss the global non-alcoholic beverage trends, showing market data and flavor challenges within this sector. This chart shows a steady growth pattern of the non-alcoholic beverage market value in the United States from 2014 through 2025 by product category. The products outlined are carbonated soft drinks, or CSDs, fruit beverages, functional beverages, bottled water, sports drinks, and others. As we pay particular attention to the functional beverage market, we see considerable and sustained growth through and beyond 2025, as noted in the gray pillars inside each one of the bars. This chart shows a solid upward trend considering global non-alcoholic beverage trends for functional beverages for the past 10-year period. Strong consumer demand for healthier and functionally effective beverages continues to grow. As we see in the sales represented in the bar graph from 2010 through 2019, the sales almost doubled from $54.98 billion in 2010 to $93.68 billion in 2019. So the opportunity for growth in the functional beverage market on the worldwide basis is robust. Consumers are looking for added functional benefits and nutrition. What we see globally are consumers who are looking for additional functional benefits, even up to and including what we call nootropics, or smart ingredients such as DHA that help improve mental function. Low sugar, low calorie claims are expected to expand, as according to Euromonitor, quote, more than half, 53% of respondents noted that eating less sugar was their preferred means of weight loss. So the expectation is based on the desire of the consumer, more and more lower sugar, low calorie items will be developed. However, what's important to note is that all of the desires of the consumers to have the best product in terms of nutrition and low calories, the ultimate and key driver of consumer purchasing decisions is still and always will be taste. Great taste is still king. So as we examine the changes that are occurring in the beverage market based on consumers' desires, we have taste challenges that are developed. For instance, lack of upfront and lasting sweetness as sugar is removed or reduced, metallic, bitter, and artificial aftertaste of some high-intensity sweeteners, grassy, cardboard, earthy notes as associated with plant proteins, and cooked notes with proteins, particularly with dairy. And speaking of dairy, let's now look at the global plant-based dairy trends and challenges. The global market for plant-based dairy alternatives is a growing segment, and better-for-you fortification with added vitamin and minerals will position itself for continued future success, as some consumers perceive it as healthier and more eco-friendly. Fortification in dairy is also an important trend and one of the most sought after healthier benefits in dairy and non-dairy milk. We will discuss in further details on the slides that follow. U.S. sales for plant-based milk alternatives grew 20% in 2020. Almost every category in plant-based foods and beverages grew by an unprecedented rate last year and are projected to have strong future growth as more consumers embrace this trend. In North America, vitamin and mineral fortification and added calcium top the better for you claims in plant-based dairy launches. For example, 29% were vitamin and mineral fortified. 20% featured added calcium. 11% featured a probiotic. 5% ingredients for functional and digestive health, and 2% for functional and bone health. The global pandemic has intensified the importance of maintaining a healthy diet, with consumers increasingly looking at healthier options in the food and drink choices that they make. 50% of dairy and non-dairy milk consumers in the US would like to see high vitamin and high mineral claims. While vitamin and mineral fortification is the most sought after health benefit in dairy and non-dairy milk, other functional and better for you claims are also in demand. There is significant demand or growth in better for you innovation in Asia. The vitamin and mineral fortified, added calcium, and high added protein claims are not only the fastest growing over the last 5 years, they are also leading the claims of plant-based drink, yogurts, and ice cream innovation in this review period. For example, products that are fortified with vitamins and mineral increased from 20% during the period of 2017 through 2021. Those with from 2017 to 2021, followed by added protein, bone health, fiber, energy, and nervous system health ingredients. Capitalizing on growth opportunities in plant-based drinks and drinkable dairy should focus on flavor, taste, and texture enhancement. The challenges in plant-based beverage formulations create the need to mask chalkiness, enhance mouthfeel due to low or no fat content, mask earthy, cardboard, grassy notes, bitterness, and overall metallic flavor. But regardless of the flavor challenges, we have solutions that address each of these issues effectively. Now to discuss European trends in sugar reduction, trends and challenges. Sugar remains in the spotlight in Europe. Over the past 5 years, the average sugar content of carbonated soft drinks in Europe has continued to trend downward to an average of just under 6 grams per 100 milliliters in the past 12 months through April of 2021. On the other hand, vitamin and mineral fortified claims, along with functional claims, remain niche among launches despite strong consumer interest. However, growth is expected to increase. In Europe, RTDTs boost their focus on sugar-free recipes. According to Mintel data, RTDT launches with sugar-free claims have increased sharply in the past year, illustrating consumer interest in completely sugar-free recipes in Europe. Consequently, the average sugar content in RTDT launches have also fallen in the past year, suggesting that brands are reacting to the consumer concerns over high sugar content in their beverages. Challenges to natural sugar reduction creates the need for masking bitterness, metallic, and other off notes that are notable for many natural sweetening alternatives. Additionally, loss of mouthfeel and satiating syrupy texture is often reduced or eliminated in sugar-reduced products, leaving the beverage lacking in an overall satisfying taste. Innovation and consumer trends absolutely drive taste challenges. Sugar-free and fortified tea, CSDs, CBD, protein, vitamins and minerals, low-fat dairy all produce taste and mouthfeel challenges that can turn off the consumer. For example, addition of non-nutritive sweeteners can add bitter, unpleasant off notes as sugar is reduced. Fortification can lead to chalkiness, throat burn, and other unpleasant sensations. CBD has bitterness, earthy, dank off notes that detract from the overall flavor. Protein can add unpleasant, meaty, cardboard, and other off notes. And finally, low fat can create watery and thin mouthfeel as the fat is removed. But our Magna-branded products address these taste challenges head-on, offering effective solutions for the challenges of today and tomorrow's formulations. Areas such as sugar substitution and supplementation, bitterness blocking, masking off flavors of proteins, masking off flavors and bitterness of CBD products, improved and richer mouthfeel, and finally, vanilla reduction and extension. And now I'd like to introduce Mark Hines, who will discuss in more detail the Magna brand line and how it can specifically work to improve your product's taste. Mark?
Thank you, Rich. I'm really excited here to introduce the new Magna-Brands family of products. MAFCO introduced the Magna-Brands portfolio of new products in January 2021, and we have continued to increase the product offerings in this category. We have introduced category-specific offerings with products custom formulated for unique taste challenges within each category. This is the new Magna-Brands family of products. Along with the heritage MagnaSweet brand, we recently introduced several new product categories tailored for application areas. First, we're going to talk about the MagnaClean CBD for CBD and cannabis applications. This line controls the off flavors from cannabis extracts and the bitterness resulting from nano-emulsions and CBD extracts. Next would be our MagnaSweet line, which is our traditional or flagship brand. MagnaSweet is the core of our Magna-Brands portfolio of products and is key to the successful functionality of all our products. MagnaSweet is a key product line for sugar reduction strategies. Next, Magna B Block is our line of products for blocking and masking bitterness in many foods, nutraceuticals, and supplement products. As an example, bitterness from caffeine or amino acids can be managed with Magna B Block. Then we move to Magna Protein Mask, a line specific for plant protein needs. We have engineered this line to manage grassy and earthy off flavors and to control residual bitterness from plant protein concentrates and extracts. We have recently created products specific to plant protein types, and I will talk in more detail on these new products later in the presentation. A new line, Magna Mouthfeel, creates pleasing, rich, creamy mouthfeel that fights astringency, chalkiness, and thin mouthfeel. This is an exciting new product line just being launched. And our newest line, still really in development, is Magna Vantastic. It's a line of products to efficiently reduce the usage of vanilla and vanilla extracts, thereby controlling the costs of vanilla. Other product categories that we're not talking about necessarily in this webinar as far as application examples, but very important to our portfolio, Magna Boost. It's the new line for effective salt reduction strategies and improving the flavor of savory products such as condiments and seasonings. Leveraging the MagnaSweet backbone, Magna Pharma has been formulated specifically for pharmaceutical applications and manages the extreme bitterness of many pharmaceutical active ingredients. We have already enjoyed several commercial successes with the Magna Pharma line in 2021. Then finally, Magna Taste is our new line of products for amplifying positive flavored notes such as cocoa, chocolate, and savory flavors. So this year we've introduced 9 lines of products of Magna brand products. And during this webinar, we will focus on 6 of the new product lines and how they are valuable and effective tools to address the flavor challenges presented by the trends of CBD, sugar reduction, bitterness from fortification and other added ingredients, protein fortification, and also volatile ingredient costs. First, to start with CBD. Consumer interest in CBD, or cannabidiol, has exploded in the past 3 years after descheduling of the hemp plant in the 2018 Farm Bill in the United States. It's very difficult to consume CBD by itself, so it is diluted in various formats for easier and more reliable intake and to achieve the perceived health benefits. CBD is commonly incorporated into beverages, gummies, and oil tinctures, and producers of these products want to eliminate off flavors and bitterness. The MagnaClean CBD line of products is the best solution to the taste challenges of CBD incorporation into food, beverages, and supplement products. There are a wide variety of CBD extract products. Commonly, terpenes indigenous to the hemp are extracted with the cannabidiol molecule. Full spectrum CBD products typically contain the full range or spectrum of the fat-soluble terpenes contained in the hemp. CBD producers can intentionally isolate the cannabidiol, creating essentially a pure isolate. Broad spectrum CBD products don't have the full range of terpenes and are typically formulated to emphasize certain terpenes for perceived health benefits. but terpenes are a source of flavor. Limonene is a component of citrus peel and a strong characterizing flavor of citrus fruit. Others have earthy flavors. Together, they contribute a strong herbal, earthy flavor. Additionally, many CBD producers employ strategies to make the fat-soluble CBD water-soluble. Nano-emulsions are very common, and the emulsifiers or surfactants are needed to create stable and nano-emulsions. By their very nature, nano-emulsions dramatically increase surface area of the fat particles, which exacerbate the flavor issues. The emulsifiers contribute bitterness and off-taste, which also must be dealt with. Finally, as many CBD entrepreneurs struggle with flavor formulation, many products really overcompensate by oversweetening the products, which lead to medicinal-like flavors. The new Magna-Clean CBD, CB012, is our best product for gummies, tinctures, and solid products. It reduces bitterness and effectively masks the earthy notes. For beverages, our new Magna-Clean CBD, CB013, is our go-to product. It eliminates the lingering bitterness from CBD and emulsifiers while masking the earthy and grassy notes. To demonstrate the efficacy of our new Magna-Clean CBD products, we formulated a strawberry flavored beverage that uses a CBD nano-emulsion. First, we formulated a nano-emulsion using highly concentrated CBD extract at 71% CBD content, which then was diluted with medium chain triglyceride oil. The emulsifier that we used was Quilea, a natural extract of soap bark, which is a flowering tree. The emulsion was finished by using ultrasonic homogenization to create extremely small and stable nano CBD oil particles. The nano emulsion was then added to a strawberry flavored beverage with 4.5% sucrose, citric acid, natural color, natural flavor, and then pasteurized and hot filled into bottles. We incorporated Magna-Clean CBD CB013 at 0.02% into this formulation to manage the taste issues of the CBD nano emulsion. In taste comparisons, the control product without Magna-Clean CBD and formulated for 25 milligrams of CBD per 8-ounce bottle has a distinct earthy, skunky, and herbal character with strong lingering bitterness, particularly once the sweetness of the sucrose dissipates. However, the CBD beverage formulated with Magna-Clean CBD has a brighter strawberry flavor with substantial reduction in the earthy, skunky notes and effectively eliminates the lingering bitterness of the control beverage. CBD products are definitely a new challenge, and MAFCO provides the tools to address these challenges through the new Magna-Clean CBD line. So sugar reduction in beverages is clearly a huge trend, both for health concerns and for the sugar taxes that have been implemented by many countries, by states, and even cities throughout the world. MagnaSweet is the ideal tool for effective sugar reduction strategies in beverages, with a full portfolio of options available for formulators around the world. There are many drivers for producers of sweet products to reduce sugar significantly. Traditionally, has been concerns about the long-term effects of excessive sugar consumption that has led to significant weight gain and onset of diabetes. Emerging in the past 10 years or so, many governing bodies, whether municipalities such as Philadelphia or countries, have implemented sugar taxes, in part to manage spiraling healthcare costs due to diabetes and other health states related to excessive sugar consumption. Of course, they're also looking at sugar as another tax revenue source. So it's unlikely that sugar taxes will go away, and more likely that they will continue to grow. So Mintel describes the challenge for the use of high-intensity sweeteners and alternative sweeteners. I quote, "The use of no low-caloric sweeteners other than sugar has been a challenge for manufacturers, in part because of their taste. Stevia, for example, a sweetener that is considered to be a healthy alternative to sugar, has been criticized for its bitter aftertaste. Indeed, there is research underway to improve the taste and aftertaste of foods made with stevia, introducing better tasting alternatives will be key to consumer acceptance. Sugar has been one of the most common, if not the most common tool for managing flavor issues. Imagine chocolate without sugar. It would be excessively bitter. It covers over many intrinsic flavor issues in food, beverage, and other products. Sweetness is a major flavor component of confections and used complementarily with other flavors such as fruit flavors, cocoa, fats and oils, and vanilla extracts. For decades, formulators have sought the ideal non-caloric sugar replacer, and today a perfect product still does not exist. But the use of high-intensity sweeteners come with flavor issues. The temporal profiles don't match the onset, the peak, and the dissipation of sucrose. Many, if not all, have lingering bitter tastes, most prominently stevia compounds. Other sugar substitutes, such as sugar alcohols like erythritol, have characteristic cooling effects, and the highest quality grades of stevia are also very costly. We're very excited about the new Magna-Sweet products that have been launched in the past year and pleased by the commercial response to these products. Several new Magna-Sweet products are already involved in new beverage launches by multinational CPG companies. We challenged ourselves to create a range of products that replicate the temporal profile of sucrose and also meet the regulatory requirements for the US and the European Union and many other countries. In this webinar, we will highlight 4 examples of sugar reduction in beverage products. These include 50% reduction of sucrose in a ready-to-drink lemonade, full elimination of added sugar in a sparkling cranberry lime beverage from approximately 5 bricks to 1 bricks, full elimination of added sugar in a chocolate milk beverage powder, and 50% reduction of sugar in a ready-to-drink lemon tea beverage. In our first example, we have used our new Magna-Sweet SWE063, which can be labeled as natural flavor by EU standards. We first formulated a lemonade beverage with 12 bricks sucrose. Then we reduced the sucrose to 6 bricks. We added stevia Reb D at 0.026% and our new Magna-Sweet SWE063 at 475 parts per million, or 0.0475%. The resulting beverage was judged to be equal to or even better than the 12 bricks controlled by panelists. Matching peak sweetness with high-intensity sweeteners is easy to do in sugar reduction exercises, but to match the temporal profile and the subtle textural characteristics is much more difficult to achieve, particularly with EU natural status. We did achieve it with our new Magna-Sweet SWE063, with comments from our panelists about the upfront syrup-like character of the 50% reduced sugar product. Next, we formulated a sparkling beverage flavored by cranberry juice concentrate and lime juice concentrate and 4% sucrose in the controlled beverage. The beverage with sucrose and natural sugar from the juice concentrates is approximately 5 bricks. We eliminated all the added sucrose and formulated a product that's just about at 1 bricks, the sugar coming from the juice concentrates. To achieve this, we use stevia Reb D and EU natural compliant Magna-Sweet SWE063 at 475 parts per million. Very similar to the RTD lemonade beverage I just described, the sparkling cranberry lime beverage at 1 bricks was judged equal to, or actually better than the control. Some panelists felt that the fruit flavors were enhanced. All agreed that the sweetness was either equivalent to or slightly sweeter than the control, with an upfront sucrose-like syrup flavor and sensation. For our next sugar reduction challenge, we took on chocolate milk powder. This created a powdered blend to be added to milk. For example, we used whole milk, but reduced fat or skim milk could be used for equally effective results. The chocolate milk powder used cocoa powder, sucrose at about 27% of the powder composition, with an equivalent to 4.2% when mixed with milk and flavorings. We formulate a product with no sucrose by using stevia Reb D and our new EU natural compliant Magna-Sweet SWE061. As consumed, the stevia Reb D is 360 parts per million, and the Magna-Sweet SWE061 is used at 73 parts per million as consumed. The results of the sucrose elimination were outstanding. Panelists rated the no sugar added product with descriptors such as sweetest, delicious, and very rich. And finally, in our last application for beverage sugar reduction, we reduced the sugar content of a ready-to-drink lemon tea product using a similar approach to the lemonade beverage. The control or reference beverage uses 8% sucrose, which is reduced to 4% of the product that incorporates Magna-Sweet SWE-063. The 50% reduced sugar beverage uses stevia Reb D at 100 parts per million and Magna-Sweet SWE-063 at 475 parts per million. Similar to our other reduced sugar examples just described, the panelists rated the 50% reduced sugar product equal to or better than the full sugar reference beverage. There were observations of an improved tea flavor, a more rounded lemon flavor, and again, a sweet syrupy sucrose flavor or sensation where the panelists felt that there were no compromise in the sweetness profile. So these four examples are just a few of the many beverages we have formulated in recent months that demonstrate how effective the new Magna-Sweet products are in reducing and eliminating added sugar with no compromise on flavor or sweetness. So our next challenge is bitterness. Increasingly, bitterness is a formulation challenge for beverage formulators. In the past, bitterness was employed as part of a flavor profile, with coffee and cola beverages being the most obvious examples. But in recent years, the explosion of energy drinks and beverages formulated with herbal and botanical extracts for health purposes have given all types of new challenges for managing bitterness while delivering consumer satisfaction. There are many plant-based compounds in foods, beverages, nutraceutical, and pharma products that are naturally bitter. Bitterness is not always avoided because it is a component of many products, but it needs to be controlled. For example, there's bitterness in hops or cocoa or caffeine, which are part of the flavor profile of many products, but excessive bitterness reduces consumer acceptability. Polyphenolic compounds such as tannins are bitter. Epicachin gallate in green tea and naringin from citrus fruit, particularly grapefruit, is bitter, but needs to be balanced. Another source of bitterness is from hydrolyzed proteins, often hydrolyzed to amino acids and dipeptides. These proteins are hydrolyzed for rapid protein or amino acid absorption, but hydrolyzation results in bitterness. Finally, surfactants or emulsifiers used for emulsions often result in a lingering bitterness or soapy taste, particularly when used at high levels. There's a multitude of bitter compounds in food, beverages, and nutraceutical products. With our new Magna B Block, formulators now have a new and effective tool to manage and control bitterness for creating optimal taste profiles. So we continue to grow in our expertise to tackle bitterness in food, beverages, and pharmaceutical, and even nutraceutical products with an increasing understanding of the origin of bitterness, the bitter receptors on the human tongue, and the tools to mask and block bitterness. We continue to introduce new Magna B Block products. In January, we introduced Magna B Block BB001 and BB002. More recently, we introduced an improved Magna B Block BB009, and we are now excited to introduce an EU natural compliant Magna B Block BB014. Now I'm going to review just two examples where we can effectively control excessive bitterness in beverages through blocking and masking. In our first example of blocking bitterness, we formulated a caffeine energy shot with 300 milligrams of caffeine in approximately 3 ounces. The product is strongly bitter despite the sucralose used for sweetness. We added Magna B Block BB002 at 0.015% or 150 parts per million and effectively managed and significantly reduced the bitterness, according to our panelists. Pre and post-workout beverages with branched chain amino acids, or BCAAs, are very popular. However, the extreme hydrolyzation of proteins to produce amino acids result in high amounts of bitterness, particularly with the high amounts of BCAAs added to powdered and to ready-to-drink beverages. Although the example shown here is a reconstituted beverage, this is essentially formulated for a powdered mix to be added to water, as the first line is water. Sucralose and ACE are used as sweeteners, which is very common, and BCAAs are added at about 2%, which, depending upon the volume consumed, provides a strong but a very typical dose of these amino acids. We use Magna B Block BB009 at 150 parts per million as consumed, which effectively managed the bitterness. Panelists agreed that the product with Magna B Block produced a cleaner tasting beverage with much less bitterness, sweeter, and even a better fruit flavor. I'm going to talk about protein masking in beverage. Clearly, there's a lot of development in the last 10 or 15 years in the use of proteins in beverage for protein fortification. However, the use of plant proteins and proteins in general has grown tremendously, but the new protein sources, particularly plant-based, have unique flavor and textural challenges. In January, we launched a new Magna branded product portfolio, and one of the new categories was the Magna Protein Mask. These products are specifically designed for the unique and diverse challenges of plant proteins. While Magna Protein Mask addresses all forms of protein, plant proteins is where most of the challenges really exist today. The newer and emerging plant protein sources often suffer from the fact that they're minimally processed. Extraction technology and agricultural practices, such as plant breeding, have not always caught up to create highly purified, clean and neutral tasting products. These are frequently proteins from real food and have distinct flavors. Some examples include pea protein with nutty, earthy, and savory flavors. And we also often describe pea protein as grassy or green. Other proteins have nutty, green, cereal, and hay-like flavors, which clearly challenge consumer acceptance of food and beverages made with these protein sources. Finally, bitterness is frequent with protein sources, particularly if natural plant bitter compounds remain in the protein concentrates or flours, or are the result of partial hydrolyzation of proteins for nutritional benefits. And often another issue with proteins is cooked protein flavor, particularly in aseptically processed or recharted protein beverages. We have an extensive line of Magna Protein Mask products, but I'm going to focus on several new products in this webinar. Magna Protein Mask PM003 eliminates grassy and earthy notes. It provides upfront mouthfeel and is ideally suited for pea protein and more neutrally flavored plant proteins. Magna Protein Mask PM004 is effective at reducing chalkiness and the grassy, earthy, and nutty off notes. It is designed for stronger plant proteins such as hemp. We also observe that it's very effective with whey proteins, particularly when the whey proteins are heat processed. Magna Protein Mask PM008 combines effectiveness of the PM003 and PM004 with enhanced bitter blocking capability for protein systems with lingering bitterness. Magna Protein Mask PM016 is a new product formulated for exceptionally strong protein flavors. And I'm pleased to introduce a new line of EU compliant products. Magna Protein PM017 and PM018 are new EU compliant products. And then we just very recently introduced products and launching products right now that are actually designed specifically for different types of plant proteins. So we've introduced PM021 and PM022, and they're developed for specific plant protein types such as soy protein, oat milk, or almond milk. So this application study is a pea protein isolate and a hemp protein powdered blend designed to be reconstituted with water for a protein shake or beverage. It was also formulated with pea starch, fruit and vegetable powder, cocoa for chocolate flavor, stevia rebe for sweetness, and guar gum for mouthfeel. We added Magna Protein Mask PM003 to the blend at 0.022 grams in a dry blend per 25 grams, or actually percentage-wise, it's 0.088%. However it's consumed, when it's hydrated with water, Magna Protein Mask PM003 is approximately 0.0083% or 83 parts per million. So in reconstituting this beverage, 25 grams of this powdered mix is added to 8 ounces or 240 grams of water. We evaluated the pea and hemp protein beverage with and without the incorporation of Magna Protein Mask PM003 at 0.0083% as consumed. According to our panelists, the differences are clear. The beverage without Magna Protein Mask has a distinct chalkiness, an earthy flavor, and a strong characteristic pea flavor. With the addition of Magna Protein Mask PM003, the beverage has a more pleasing mouthfeel with less chalkiness. The green and grassy flavor is substantially reduced. The earthy notes are masked. The overall flavor profile is improved with a more rounded sweetness and flavor. And finally, the finish is clean without bitterness or off flavors. Mafco has been employing a customization strategy for new product development in the past year and micro-targeting flavor issues. Recently, we developed Magna Protein Mask products specifically tailored for different types of plant proteins, starting with the most utilized plant proteins. Magna Protein Mask PM021 is a new product formulated for soy milk and soy protein and its unique flavor challenges. We incorporate Magna Protein Mask PM021 at 200 parts per million or 0.02%, also in combination with our new Magna Mouthfeel at 400 parts per million in a commercial, unsweetened, and unflavored soy milk. The results were very positive. Panelists described the resulting flavor of the Magna Protein Mask PM021 and Magna Mouthfeel as eliminates the beanie flavor, smooth, clean flavor, and rich mouthfeel. Oat milk has grown tremendously in popularity in recent years. Oat milk has unique flavor issues, and Mafco created a product, Magna Protein Mask PM022, that is particularly suited to oat milk. We incorporated Magna Protein Mask PM022 into an unsweetened and unflavored oat milk product at 200 parts per million, along with Magna Mouthfeel at 275 parts per million. The resulting product was significantly improved with the elimination of cardboard and chalky notes, and the texture was described as rich and creamy. And then almond milk is also one of the top plant milk products. We found that Magna Protein Mask PM022 is also very effective with almond milk. We incorporated Magna Protein Mask PM022 at 150 parts per million, along with the Magna Mouthfeel at 312 parts per million, and created a much improved product. Panelists recognized the elimination of grassy and chalky notes, no protein or off flavor, and a richer mouthfeel. So I'm really excited now to come to this point where we're just in the process of introducing an exciting new product line, Magna Mouthfeel. We have already successfully evaluated it in several product applications and have demonstrated that it provides a rich and creamy mouthfeel. In our first demonstration, we incorporated Magna Mouthfeel MMF-004 in a rice milk beverage at 400 parts per million or 0.04%. Panelists easily discriminated between the product with Magna Mouthfeel and the reference product, which is a commercial unsweetened milk rice beverage. The controller reference product was described as thin and diluted, whereas the product with Magna mouthfeel was described as full-bodied, rich, oily, and even buttery. We then added Magna mouthfeel MMF004 to a ready-to-drink coffee product. We used a commercial ready-to-drink cold brew coffee, incorporated fat-free half and half creamer, sucrose at 4%, and Magna mouthfeel MM004 at 400 parts per million, or again at 0.04%. The use of Magna mouthfeel MMF004 in a ready-to-drink coffee substantially improved the beverage, according to the panelists. They described the controller reference as thin, while the ready-to-drink coffee with Magna mouthfeel was described as creamy, rich, full-bodied, and balanced. We're really excited about our new Magna mouthfeel products and look forward to exploring even more new beverage applications for this product. So this brings us to our last technical part of this webinar. And this is about actually managing vanilla costs. And this is a very new product line as well. Most people in the food industry understand about vanilla and the volatile prices. The vanilla costs are a frequent challenge to beverage formulators and to the purchasing agents of beverage manufacturers. Historically, vanilla costs are volatile, reflecting the small global supply and the effect of weather on the growing regions. For example, in 2018, vanilla became an all-time high, over $600 a kilo. Clearly, formulators want tools to manage the unpredictable costs and supply of natural vanilla extracts and products. MAFCO is now providing that tool. MAFCO is introducing a line of products that reduce the usage levels of vanilla or vanilla extracts by extending the flavor intensity. The product line is called Magna-Brands. Primary purpose to manage costs of expensive vanilla products, but we frequently observe that the vanilla flavors also improved. We have recently formulated a new vanilla enhancing product, Magna-Brands VE004. We have used this in a sweetened oat milk beverage with natural vanilla, 10x vanilla extract at 1%. The vanilla extract was reduced 25% from 1.0% of the formulation to 0.75%. We also used our heritage MagnaSweet MM100G in the formulation. The result is an oat milk beverage that was judged equal to or better than control, with 25% reduction in the costly 10x vanilla extract. Our new Magna-Brands line is another tool for formulators to create winning beverages and to manage the costs. Now I'm going to hand it off to Rich to summarize our webinar presentation.
Thank you, Mark. And thank you to everybody for joining today. We hope that you found the webinar to be informative and helpful. We've enjoyed presenting this information, very much appreciate the opportunity to share our new technology and products with you today. Our Magna-Brands line of products represent many clean label tools for creating winning better for you beverages. With the new products introduced in 2021 alone, we have potent formulation tools for sugar reduction, blocking bitterness, masking proteins, particularly plant proteins, masking and controlling off flavors of CBD beverages, new products for creating rich mouthfeel, and a very new product for vanilla enhancement or extension. So in conclusion today, we're here to support you to help you overcome your most difficult flavor challenges as your customers follow the trends. And you'll find that we are most effective in closely collaborative projects and have many recent examples where we've achieved strong win-win situations with our partnership and custom solutions development approach. So please reach out to us on our website at www.mafco.com, which, by the way, is now being completely redesigned to be more interactive and more informative and should be up and running in about a month. Or to your account manager, or finally, you can reach out at our email addresses for the next step. We can provide product recommendations, guidance on usage levels, and samples, and we will work with you through the entire product development process until we get you exactly what you need by managing our fully customizable product library. We thank you so much for your time today. The webinar has been recorded and will be available on our website on demand later today. At this point, we'd like to answer any questions that can be submitted through the Q&A feature of the Zoom webinar. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. We got a couple questions in queue here. Is the SWE063 an improved version of the Bitter Blocker S?
Well, it's really a considerably different product altogether. So you said Magna Sweet SWE063.
Correct.
That's all about sugar reduction. It will reduce bitterness, particularly in stevia products, but more than anything, it's really a very potent sweetness enhancer. It's not a sweetener, but a sweetness enhancer works great with any sweetener. Stevia is the example that we used. Whereas Magna Sweet is that Bitter Blocker S. That's really about masking the bitterness of stevia products there. So two different functionalities. I mean, there will be a little bit of overlap on that because Magna Sweet will also cover over bitterness, but really designed for two different functionalities altogether.
Did the PM003 help to mask the stevia off notes as well?
Yes, does
Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, these products
actually,
are protein flavors dominating there, but there is stevia off notes as well, and it does control that.
Actually, a good point raised in that question, just to address it a little bit more, is that a lot of our brands, you have Magna, you've got the Bitter Block, the B Block, Protein Mask, we've got Magna Pharma. The names absolutely depict what the functionality, what the optimum functionality of each of the products is, but it can be noted that you might have some really good effect using a Magna B Block in a protein containing beverage. And conversely, you may have a really great effect from a Magna Protein mask in a product that contains caffeine. So it's not that just the name only fits one application. There can be multiple because there are some crossovers in the bitter inducing response. Just a point to be made as you request samples.
Next question, what is the labeling for Magna Mouthfeel? What is the composition?
Well, I hesitate a little bit because the labeling will be dependent upon the country, but we're intending to be labeled as natural flavoring in most parts of the world, definitely in the United States.
Magna Mouthfeel can improve mouthfeel in milk contain products only or not?
Oh, many things.
The demo.
Oh yeah, yeah. We actually formulated it in water alone, and it's actually gives a lot of mouthfeel in water alone. But obviously, most people don't sell water for mouthfeel. But we've put it into yogurts, we put it into ready-to-drink coffees, we put it in various plant milks. It can be also in low sugar, no sugar beverages when there's a lack of mouthfeel as well. So we think it's extremely got a lot of universal uses, very wide use. And I want to have to say is it's so recently developed that we really have not even explored everything we put it into.
Which Magna brand product would you recommend to use with the sweetener monk fruit?
Well, that depends on the application. So is it going to be in a, what kind of, it's going to be in a beverage, assume. Our best product right now is SWE063, but there are other products as well that can perhaps be a better solution depending upon the situation, the labeling requirements, the country, things like that. So, I mean, we still have a good product that's SWE003, and it's quite effective as well. But the best product right now is 63.
One point to be made to the audience that's still here is that another point, we've got, most of our products are powder. We do have liquids. All our oil are water soluble. I will say one accomplishment we've just achieved just in the last 2 weeks, something we've never done before, is we now have actual oil soluble versions of a lot of these products. So where we used to have to do a nano emulsion to make them soluble, now in their native form, they're oil soluble. So not all of them yet, but it's a path we're going down, and it's a great stride forward that we've achieved only recently in the oil solubility part.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Okay, I want to ask about the body mouthfeel of Magna-Sweet for reducing sugar. In your presentation, can we replace 100% of sugar with Magna-Sweet?
No.
No, you're not going to be effective because it's not a sweetener, it's a sweetness enhancer. And so it works with other sweeteners. We have the demonstration examples today. In most cases, were 50% reduced. In some cases, we took away all the sugar, but these were a little bit lighter sweetening. We have done 75% reduced sugar in many successful applications as well. But you can't totally replace sugar with Magna-Sweet alone. You've got to put in something else. And our go-to generally is stevia. We usually use stevia Reb D because it has more applicability around the world, more regulatory clearance. But monk fruit could be used as well. Erythritol, other high intensity or non-nutritive sweeteners to have effective sugar reduction. But you can't do it by itself alone. But rather what it does, it works very well with other sweeteners, particularly high intensity or non-nutritive sweeteners.
Our pea protein milk product tends to have a grainy texture. Would Magna Protein Mask PM003 help to reduce the grainy mouthfeel texture?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the most frequent observations really of the plant protein, particularly when people aren't quite as adept at tasting the green and grassy and pea protein flavors of pea protein. They recognize clearly that it reduces the chalky character. What I'm really excited about is the Magna mouthfeel. That probably is going to be even more effective. So it can be working in combination with that because it's designed specifically for that. Whereas the Magna protein masks do reduce the chalky character as well.
For tea with milk, which Magna grade can reduce white or brown sugar?
Well, we'd go first with the Magna-Sweet SWE063. That's again is our best product today. We'll probably create better products in the future as we continue to learn. But right now, it's an excellent product. We've had excellent response on that. As I mentioned, it's actually now getting into commercial launches. So that'd be the first product to evaluate.
Do you have any recommendations on how to select between the current range of the new Magna branded products?
Could you say that again?
Sure. It depends. Yeah, it depends on the application.
Right.
They're very application specific. Depends on what your desired outcome is. Depends on how bad the product is, what you're trying to mask. But that's a good question to make a good point. That all of the products that you've seen here today, and for those of you who've known MOFCO for a long time, MOFCO was before, the MM 100, 200, 300 lines of Magna-Sweet, which are great. They're great products, but that pretty much they were what they were. But now these products are all engineered by us. We're developing them, we're modifying them per our own internal testing, but we're also modifying them to specific product criteria from our customers. So if you have a product that you're developing and you want to use one of our Magna-Sweets or Magna-Clean CBD or whatever, we're going to select it based on what you tell us that you're looking for in your product. Ultimately, it's great if we can get your base, but if we can't, we make the best guess we can based on what you're telling us you need. But the great part and the real difference for here with MOFCO, as we are now an R&D centric organization, is that we can modify it. If you tell us that you liked it, but it needs a little bit more upfront blocking, upfront sweetness, more temporal sweetness, we can take it back and modify it so that it'll do what you need. So it's a really important point for everybody to recognize that we're not limited by the numbers of products we have today. We develop more on demand.
The difference between old Magna-Sweet products and the new Magna brand products is that the new products are more function specific, whereas the old ones were very dependent on dosage. Is this correct?
Yes, I mean, they are more product and application specific. So we have 9 new categories of products. And so they direct towards protein masking, or they direct only to sweetness enhancement, or they direct only to bitter blocking. So it's just another way to say that they're more targeted.
For pea protein, if we like to improve mouthfeel and block the greeny taste, could we use 2 grades of Magna-Brands together?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we certainly recommend trying it. So yes, they actually could have announced, because that's what we've been doing very recently, really in the last 2 to 4 weeks. We're combining 2 products and finding it's just outstanding.
Would you say that the bitter blocker N is an all-arounder, while saying something like Magna Protein Mask is more specific to protein?
Yeah, I would, because the bitter blocker that was in, correct?
N, correct.
Yes, that was designed for just general, actually the N's for nutraceutical, that's what's designated. So it kind of a general bitterness, so it might be caffeine or botanical extracts. Protein masking is designed more for protein specifically. So the BBN is more just for general applications that have bitterness issues.
Okay, we're a little over on time. Do we have any more questions, Anthony? Not trying to cut anybody off, but.
No, aside from a request for a future webinar in pharma and herbal nutraceuticals, that's all the questions that came through today.
Great. Well, again, we'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to join us. We hope you found it of value. As you can see, MOFCO is developing and delivering products like we've never done before, and really harnessing the true power of MagnaSuite in ways we never have before either, which quite frankly are to the benefit of the industry, because we really feel it's an unpolished gem. So that being said, we want to thank everyone for attending. The webinar will be posted on our website in watchable form within, I would say, a couple hours, right? And again, thank everybody for their input, and most of all the questions too. We really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Great attendance. Appreciate it so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Goodbye. Have a good day.